The stars looked cold and far away. A small human ship drifted silently through the darkness. Inside sat one lonely traveler, Captain Ryan Hale. He had been lost for days, low on food and water. His ship was damaged after a sudden meteor storm, and now it was barely holding together. Warning lights blinked red. The oxygen meter was falling. The man knew he could not survive much longer. Then, through the cracked glass of his cockpit, he saw something strange. A planet appeared ahead. It was not marked on his star maps. It was hidden, surrounded by mist and glowing rings of dust. The colors of the planet were unreal. Deep green forests shining under a golden sky, rivers glowing with silver light. It was beautiful, but also frightening, like a dream that felt too perfect. Ryan's ship entered the atmosphere. Flames burned on the sides, but the ship held long enough to crash into a valley of soft, glowing grass. He crawled out, coughing but alive. His body ached, his throat burned from thirst, and hunger twisted his stomach. He looked around. The air was thick but breathable. Strange flowers taller than him swayed, glowing softly like lanterns. The forest whispered with unknown sounds, clicks, hums, and voices that almost sounded human. He stumbled forward, searching for water. Every step was heavy. His vision blurred. Just when he thought he might collapse, he saw a figure in the distance. It was not human. At first, he thought it was a trick of his tired mind, but the figure came closer, stepping out from the glowing trees. It was a girl, or at least she looked like one. Her skin shimmered faintly in the golden light. Her eyes were large and silver, reflecting the stars themselves. Her hair floated like silk in the air, as if gravity barely touched her. She said nothing at first. She only watched him with a calm, curious expression, like a scientist looking at a rare animal. Then, slowly, she raised her hand. In her hand was a small cup carved from crystal. Inside the cup was a liquid that glowed faintly blue. It smelled sweet, like honey mixed with flowers. Ryan's throat tightened. He could not take his eyes off the drink. His lips were dry. His body begged for water, but deep inside his mind whispered a warning. This is too strange, too perfect, too dangerous. The alien girl stepped closer. She was silent, her bare feet leaving no trace on the glowing grass. She lifted the cup toward him, offering it without words. Ryan's heart pounded. He wanted to ask her who she was, what she wanted, if the drink was safe. But his mouth was too dry, his voice broken. He only managed to whisper, "Water?" The alien girl tilted her head as if she did not understand his words. Then she smiled, a soft, almost human smile. She pushed the cup closer to his hands. The liquid inside shimmered, glowing in the dark. The smell grew stronger. It was sweet, addictive, pulling him in. He could almost feel the taste already on his tongue, but his mind screamed. He remembered old stories, warnings of space travelers who trusted the wrong beings, who accepted gifts that turned into curses. His survival instincts told him to resist, yet his body was too weak. His legs trembled, his lips cracked. Finally, Ryan reached out. His hands shook as he touched the crystal cup. It felt warm, almost alive, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. He lifted it to his lips. The alien girl watched closely, her silver eyes glowing brighter as if waiting for this exact moment. Ryan paused. He stared into the liquid. It looked harmless. It smelled heavenly. It promised life when death was near. He told himself, just one sip, just enough to survive. And then, he drank. The taste exploded on his tongue. Sweet, smooth, richer than anything he had ever tasted before. It was not just drink. It was like liquid sunlight, flowing into every part of him. His body stopped aching. His throat cooled instantly. Strength returned to his muscles. His mind felt sharp, awake, alive. He gasped, shocked by how good it felt. His hands shook harder, but this time not from weakness. Something else moved through. Him. Something powerful. Something unknown. The alien girl smiled wider. Her silver eyes glowed like moons. She leaned closer, whispering her first words in a voice soft as wind. You should not have drunk so much. Ryan froze. The sweetness still coated his mouth. The warmth inside his body began to burn hotter, spreading through his veins. His heart pounded like a drum, and deep inside he realized he might have just made the greatest mistake of his life. The moment the liquid touched Ryan's lips, the world seemed to change. It was not water. It was not food. It was something more. The sweet taste rushed through his tongue, sliding down his throat like liquid fire and honey at the same time. It was cold and hot together, smooth like silk yet heavy like metal. He gasped for breath, but he could not stop. His body craved more, demanded more. His hands shook as he finished the cup. For a second there was silence. Then the world around him pulsed. The glowing trees seemed brighter. The whispers in the forest grew sharper. He could hear tiny insects crawling in the grass. He could even hear his own heartbeat thundering inside his chest, faster than before. Ryan stumbled, dropping the cup. It did not shatter. It simply melted into the grass as if it was never real. He wiped his mouth, confused, but the sweetness lingered on his tongue. His hunger was gone. His thirst was gone. His body, moments ago weak and ready to collapse, now felt strong, almost powerful. The alien girl stood only a few steps away, watching silently. Her silver eyes reflected his trembling body. She tilted her head slightly, like a bird studying prey. Her face carried no fear, no surprise, only expectation. Ryan tried to speak. What was that? His voice came out stronger than he expected. Clear, almost too clear. The sound of it echoed strangely, like the air itself carried his words further than normal. The girl did not answer. She simply lifted her hand and pointed at his chest. Ryan looked down. His shirt clung tight against his skin, damp with sweat. But beneath it, his muscles pulsed unnaturally, as though waves of energy were moving under his skin. His heart hammered. Again, faster. Every beat was louder, shaking his ribs. He grabbed his chest and fell to his knees. What's happening to me? He gasped. The alien girl stepped closer, crouching in front of him. Her face came near his, her silver eyes glowing softly. For the first time, she whispered a single word. Change. Ryan's breath caught in his throat. The sweetness of the milk now felt like poison. He tried to spit, but it was already inside him, flowing deeper, wrapping around his veins. His vision blurred for a second, then sharpened. He could see every blade of glowing grass, every tiny spark of light floating in the air. His senses screamed. He stumbled to his feet, backing away from the alien girl. His hands trembled violently, glowing faintly blue, the same color as the milk. This isn't right, he said, shaking his head. This isn't normal. The alien girl did not follow. She only stood where she was, calm, patient, like she had seen this happen before. Ryan's breathing grew heavy. His chest expanded as if pulling more air than a human should. His skin burned, but it wasn't pain. It was energy. His body no longer felt like his own. He punched the ground in panic, and the soil cracked open beneath his fist, glowing sparks shooting out like fireflies. He stared at his hand in shock. That's impossible. The forest grew louder. The whispers he had heard earlier now formed strange patterns. He realized they were not sounds at all. They were thoughts, voices, hundreds of voices whispering in a language he did not understand, yet somehow felt inside his mind. Ryan clutched his head. Get out of my head. But the voices only grew stronger. The alien girl finally spoke again. Her voice was soft, calm, almost soothing. You drank too much? Ryan froze. His eyes snapped to her. What do you mean? What did you give me? She took a slow step closer. The milk of my people is not for you. It heals, yes. It feeds, yes. But too much. And it changes what you are. Ryan's throat went dry again. He wanted to scream at her, but his body betrayed him. The warmth inside was spreading faster, racing from his chest to his arms, his legs, his head. His eyes burned. He blinked, and for a moment, the world flickered with strange symbols floating in the air, shapes and runes he could not understand. He stumbled, back against a glowing tree. The bark pulsed under his hand like flesh. His breathing grew ragged. The girl's eyes narrowed slightly. "Human," she whispered, almost with pity. "You are not made for this gift. Your body will fight, and you will lose." Ryan shook his head violently. "No, I can control it. I have to." But as he spoke, his body betrayed him again. His hands clenched on their own. His spine arched. His vision blurred into flashes of light and shadow. A roar tore from his throat, louder than any sound a man should make. It shook the trees, and creatures in the distance scattered. The alien girl did not move. She only whispered again, almost to herself. "It begins." Ryan fell to his knees, his body trembling, half with power and half with fear. The sweet taste of the milk still clung to his mouth, but now it was mixed with dread, and deep inside, he knew. This was only the beginning of something far more dangerous than hunger or thirst. Ryan knelt on the glowing grass, his body trembling like a storm trapped inside flesh. His breath came in heavy bursts. Every inhale felt sharp. Every exhale carried heat. The sweet milk was no longer a comfort. It was fuel, fire, and chains, all at once. His vision sharpened. He could see too much. Every blade of grass around him glowed with tiny veins of light. The trees pulsed faintly, their trunks beating like living hearts. Insects the size of his fingernail crawled through the soil, and he could hear the soft crunch of their legs as clearly as if they were right beside his ear. Ryan pressed his palms against his head. This isn't real," he muttered. But the world refused to return to normal. The alien girl remained silent, her silver eyes fixed on him. She stood like a statue carved from moonlight, watching him suffer but never stepping closer. Then, his body twitched. His arms flexed without command, muscles tightening with unnatural strength. He slammed a fist into the ground again, and the earth cracked, glowing blue lines spreading out like lightning beneath his skin. His heart hammered louder, too fast, too strong. Ryan panicked. "What's happening to me?" His voice echoed unnaturally, the sound bouncing back from the trees in ways that made no sense. The girl tilted her head. "You are becoming what you should not be." Her words cut through him. He stared at his hands. The veins glowed faintly. Pulsing blue like liquid fire ran under his skin. He felt both terrified and powerful. For the first time in days, he was not weak. But this power did not feel like his own. It felt borrowed, stolen, dangerous. Suddenly his stomach twisted. Pain surged through his chest, forcing him to collapse onto the ground. His fingers dug into the glowing soil as waves of heat rolled across his body. He screamed, but the sound that escaped his throat was not human. It was deeper, louder, vibrating with strange tones. The forest reacted. Strange birds flew from the trees. Shadows moved between the glowing plants. The entire valley seemed to shiver at the sound. Ryan gasped for air, sweat pouring down his face. His skin was hot to the touch, glowing faintly in patches. His body felt too tight, as if his own bones were straining to hold the power inside, and then something worse began. Whispers filled his head again, soft, layered voices, hundreds of them speaking at once. They spoke in a language he did not know, but somehow the meaning slipped into his mind. The voices told him of hunger. The voices told him of strength. The voices told him he was no longer human, that he was chosen. Ryan clutched his skull. "No. Shut up, get out of my head." The alien girl finally stepped forward. Her voice was low, almost calm. "You drank too deeply. The milk is alive. It does not only feed the body, it feeds the spirit. It binds itself to you." Ryan stared at her with wild eyes. Bind? What do you mean, bind? She gazed at him with pity. It was never meant for you. My kind use it to awaken the warrior blood. But a human body, it cannot carry this gift without breaking. Ryan's chest burned hotter. His spine arched back as another surge of energy ripped through him. His vision flickered again. This time, he saw not just the forest, but something else. Strange symbols glowed in the air, moving patterns of light that swirled like a language written by the stars themselves. They floated across his vision, circling the alien girl, circling him. He staggered to his feet. I can't control this. His voice cracked, his words shaking. The girl shook her head slowly. Control is already leaving you. Her calmness terrified him more than her words. She wasn't surprised. She wasn't trying to stop him. She was waiting for something she knew would come. Ryan stumbled backward, his legs twitching with strength he couldn't handle. His fists clenched and unclenched without his will. His heartbeat was thunder, his breath was fire. The power inside him wanted to be unleashed, but where would it go? Against her? Against himself? Against the world? He shouted again, desperate. Help me! The alien girl's silver eyes glowed brighter. Her voice was quiet, but the weight of her words pressed against him like gravity. Help comes with a price. Ryan froze, his body shaking, sweat dripping from his skin like rain. The voices in his head grew louder, chanting, urging him to surrender. His glowing veins pulsed with every beat of his heart. He dropped to his knees again, caught between strength and weakness, between hunger and fear, and in that moment he understood something terrible. The milk was not just changing his body. It was changing who he was. Not just his muscles, not just his senses. It was reaching deeper. It was changing his very soul. Ryan looked at his hands, glowing faintly like alien fire. For the first time, he wondered if he was still human at all. The alien girl stepped closer, her shadow falling across him. She whispered softly, almost tenderly, "This is only the beginning." Night fell across the strange valley. The golden sky dimmed, and the glowing trees became brighter, their light casting long, shifting shadows. The air hummed with strange sounds, low clicks, faint whispers, and distant roars of unseen creatures. Ryan sat against the trunk of one of the glowing trees, his chest rising and falling fast. Sweat covered his face, and his shirt clung to him like a second skin. His veins still glowed faintly, pulsing blue with every heartbeat. He wrapped his arms around his body as if he could hold the changes inside, as if he could stop them from spreading, but it was no use. Every few minutes his muscles would twitch violently, his eyes burned, and when he blinked he saw the world with new layers of detail. He could see far into the forest, spotting the movement of small animals he should not have been able to see. He could hear them breathe, hear their tiny hearts beat. His sense of smell sharpened too. He could smell the earth, the flowers, even the faint metallic scent of his own blood. At first it seemed like a gift. He felt stronger, sharper, alive in ways no human ever had. But then the side effect began to show itself. His hunger returned. It was not normal hunger. Food and water were not what his body wanted anymore. It was something else. A deep, gnawing emptiness that twisted inside him. His stomach growled, but no amount of imagined bread or water filled his mind. Instead, his body craved energy. Ryan looked at his glowing hands in horror. No, this isn't right. He stood and stumbled toward the alien girl who had not moved far. She stood calmly under the light of the trees, her silver eyes reflecting the night. "What did you do to me?" he demanded, his voice breaking. "What's happening inside me?" The girl tilted her head. "You drank the milk of my people, too much of it. It does not only heal, it transforms. It opens what should stay closed." Ryan grabbed her arm in desperation. His grip was too strong. She did not fight him, but he felt the strange warmth of her skin, like electricity under his palm. He pulled his hand back quickly, his body trembling harder. "I don't want this," he shouted. "Take it back, fix me." Her silver eyes softened, but her words were cold. "There is no fixing. Once the milk binds, it never lets go. Ryan's chest ached. His heartbeat thundered louder. He staggered back and fell to his knees, clutching his chest. His body shook violently, his vision blurred, then split into two, then three. The voices in his head grew louder, whispering in unison. Then, it happened. His hand struck the ground. The grass around his fingers burned, glowing brighter until it disintegrated into ash. A wave of energy burst from his palm, racing across the soil in a circle. The earth trembled under him. Ryan gasped, pulling his hand back, staring at the circle of blackened ground. His chest tightened. I did that? The alien girl nodded slowly. Yes, the side effect reveals itself now. Ryan shook his head violently. This isn't power. This is poison. It's killing me. But she only watched him. It is not killing you. It is remaking you. His body lurched again, throwing him into a violent spasm. His back arched as waves of energy coursed through him. The voices in his mind grew sharper. Some urged him to fight. Others urged him to surrender. One whispered clearer than the rest. Feed. Ryan's eyes widened. He knew what it wanted. His body wanted more of the milk. It wasn't food. It wasn't drink. It was fuel. And without more, the burning inside him would only grow. He looked up at the alien girl in horror. It's not enough, is it? 1 cup wasn't enough. My body wants more. The girl finally stepped closer. Her silver eyes glowed brighter in the dark. She bent down and whispered, Yes. That is the price. Once begun, the hunger never ends. Ryan pushed himself back in panic, shaking his head. No, I won't do it. I won't become some monster. But even as he said the words, his body betrayed him. His hands shook, his teeth clenched, and his vision filled with blinding flashes of light. The air around him rippled like heat waves. He roared again, the inhuman sound shaking the trees. This time the forest answered. Strange creatures with glowing eyes appeared at the edge of the clearing, drawn by his power. Their shapes were twisted, their movements alien. They circled slowly, watching. Ryan's heart raced faster. His body stood tall on its own, muscles tightening, energy sparking in his veins. He wanted to run. He wanted to fight. He wanted to feed. The alien girl stood behind him, her voice calm but firm. This is the side effect, not death but hunger, not weakness but power without control. Ryan's fists clenched, glowing brighter than before. His breath came in sharp bursts, each one steaming in the night air. His human mind screamed in fear, but his body ached for release. And in that moment, he realized something terrifying. The side effect wasn't coming. It was already here. Ryan's body trembled as he stood in the clearing, the strange hunger burning deeper inside him. His fists glowed faintly blue. His chest rose and fell like a storm was trapped within his lungs. The alien girl watched him calmly, silver eyes reflecting the strange fire in his veins. She looked almost like a priestess before a sacrifice, untouched by fear. The glowing-eyed creatures at the forest's edge growled softly, but they did not come closer. They circled him as if waiting for a command. Ryan spun toward the alien girl, his voice sharp, shaking with fear and rage. Tell me the truth. What did you give me? What is happening to me? For the first time, she did not look calm. She sighed, lowering her eyes. Then she spoke slowly, each word heavy. The milk is not food, it is not drink, it is life, a piece of my people's essence. Ryan blinked, confused. Essence? What does that mean? The girl stepped forward. Long ago, my people were weak. We were hunted by greater races. Then the ancients blessed us. They gave us the milk, born from the heart of our living world. It makes us strong, faster than death, sharper than thought. It binds us to the land and to each other. Her silver eyes lifted, glowing faintly. It was never meant for outsiders. Ryan's heart pounded harder. His veins burned as if to prove her words true. Then why give it to me? Why let me drink it at all? The girl's face turned solemn. Because you were dying. Because your body was broken. Because I pitied you. But I warned you with my silence. One sip could have healed you. But you drank too much. Ryan's legs shook. He gritted his teeth. I was starving. I didn't know. How could I have known? The girl's voice sharpened. You should have listened to your instincts. No human is meant to carry this power. It changes you. It will keep changing you until there is no human left. Her words stabbed deeper than the burning in his chest. Ryan staggered back. His mind spun with panic. No human left. What did that even mean? He clutched his glowing hand, staring at it as if it belonged to someone else. So what happens now? What do I become? The girl's eyes flickered with something like sorrow. She spoke softly, almost like a confession. A vessel, a soldier, a weapon for my people. Ryan's stomach twisted. His body flared with another wave of heat, but this time it was drowned by cold fear. A weapon? She nodded slowly. The milk was created to bind warriors to us. Once it is inside you, it is not yours anymore. It belongs to us. You belong to us. The word struck him harder than any physical blow. Ryan's mind screamed, his human spirit fighting the thought. He staggered forward, pointing at her, his voice breaking into anger. No, I'm not yours. I'm not your soldier. I'm not your weapon. The girl did not flinch. You cannot fight it. Already the bond grows. Already you hear the voices of my people. Ryan froze. The whispers in his head rose again, louder now, chanting in strange harmony. He shook his head violently. Get out! Get out of my head! But the voices would not stop. They pulsed with the same rhythm as his glowing, veins beating with every heartbeat. He collapsed to his knees, gasping. I don't want this. I just want to be human again. The alien girl crouched in front of him, her face calm but her words sharp as blades. Then you should not have drunk the milk. Her gaze softened slightly, almost like pity. Now, the hunger will follow you. It will grow each day. The milk gives strength, but it demands more. You will crave it. Without it, you will burn from inside. With it, you will lose yourself faster. Ryan's chest tightened. He felt trapped, caught between two choices that both led to destruction. So, either I die, or I stop being human. The girl did not answer. Her silence was the answer. The creatures in the forest growled louder as if they sensed his despair. His body reacted to their sound. His glowing hands clenched, his vision sharpened, his breathing quickened. The hunger stirred, stronger than before. Ryan forced himself to look at her again. Why me? Why do you care if I live or die? Why save me at all? The girl's expression finally shifted. For the first time, she looked uncertain. Her silver eyes dimmed, her voice almost a whisper. Because you remind me of someone, a human who came long before you. He drank too. He became ours. He never returned to his people. Ryan's blood ran cold. Another human had been here before. Another had fallen into the same trap. What happened to him? Ryan asked, his voice trembling. The girl's silver eyes locked on his. He is still here, but he is no longer human. Ryan's stomach dropped. His heartbeat thundered painfully. He wanted to scream, but no words came. The girl stood, stepping back into the shadows. Her voice drifted like wind through the glowing trees. You will meet him soon, and then you will understand your future. Ryan's body shook violently. His human mind clung to denial, but the burning inside him told the truth. The side effect was not just hunger. It was transformation, a slow, unstoppable erasure of his humanity. And the worst part, he could already feel it beginning. The forest was alive with sound. The glowing-eyed creatures at the edge of the clearing crept closer, their movements slow and careful as if waiting for a signal. Ryan stood trembling, his glowing veins pulsing like fire under his skin. His heart thundered, and the whispers inside his head grew sharper, chanting with hunger. The alien girl watched him without fear. She seemed almost calm, as if she had seen this before. Ryan's fists clenched. He could feel the power inside him begging to be released. His chest burned, his throat dry, his stomach twisted with a need so strong it drowned out every human thought. He wanted more of the milk. He needed it, but there was none left. The whispers urged him to feed in another way. His eyes darted toward the glowing creatures. He could hear their hearts beating. He could smell their blood like sweet perfume. His mouth watered. Ryan staggered back in horror. No, I won't do this. But his body betrayed him. His legs moved forward without his command. His fingers twitched, glowing brighter with each step. The hunger inside roared, drowning out his voice. The alien girl spoke softly, almost like a mother to a child. You are fighting the bond, but the bond is stronger than you. Shut up, Ryan roared, clutching his head. His voice was no longer human. It cracked with strange tones, deeper, layered with echoes. One of the glowing creatures growled and stepped closer. Its body was thin but muscular, with sharp claws and glowing eyes like burning coals. Ryan's vision locked onto it. His heartbeat synced with its. He could almost taste its life. The hunger screamed, "Take it. Feed." Ryan fell to his knees, slamming his fists into the ground. The soil cracked, glowing lines spreading outward. The creatures hissed and backed away, but their eyes never left him. Tears burned in Ryan's eyes. I don't want this. I'm not a monster. But the truth was already clear. His body no longer listened to him. His human spirit was locked in a cage, while something else, something alien, took control. The alien girl's silver eyes glowed brighter. Her voice was low and calm. This is the struggle. If you win, you keep your mind. If you lose, you will belong to the hunger. Ryan gritted his teeth. Then I'll win. He forced himself to stand, every muscle shaking with the effort. He turned away from the creatures, away from the girl, stumbling deeper into the forest. Each step was heavy, his body screaming for him to stop. The whispers inside begged him to turn back, to feed. But Ryan pushed forward. The forest grew darker, the trees thicker, their glow dimming as though they feared his presence. The whispers in his head grew louder, mocking him, laughing, urging him to surrender. His chest felt like it would burst. His veins glowed so brightly they lit the ground beneath him. His breath came in sharp, ragged gasps. Then, without warning, his body snapped, his back arched, his arms flung wide, and a wave of blue energy exploded from him. The blast ripped through the forest, shattering glowing plants, sending creatures fleeing. Ryan collapsed to the ground, smoke rising from the earth around him. He lay there, trembling, gasping for breath. His body felt broken, yet still alive. The hunger had not gone. It had only grown stronger. The alien girl appeared beside him. He hadn't heard her approach. She was simply there, silent and still. Her silver eyes looked down at him with something between pity and respect. You resist more than I thought, but resistance has limits. The bond always wins in the end. Ryan glared at her, his jaw tight. Not me. She crouched beside him, her face inches from his. You already feel it, don't you? The hunger, the craving. It will never leave you. Every beat of your heart will remind you. Every breath will carry it deeper. Ryan's fists dug into the soil. I'll fight it. I'll fight until my last breath. Her lips curved into the faintest smile. Then you will suffer until your last breath. That is the gift and curse of the milk. The forest around them stirred. The glowing creatures crept closer again, emboldened by his weakness. Ryan felt his body twitch, his muscles tightening. His vision locked on them once more. His human mind screamed, but the hunger drowned it out. The girl whispered, Do you feel it? The urge to take them? To taste their life? Ryan's teeth clenched, his body shaking. No, I won't. But the hunger pushed harder. His mouth watered, his veins burned, his glowing hands reached forward against his will. With a roar he lunged, In that moment, the deadly struggle was no longer inside his head. It was real. His human spirit against his alien hunger. His will against his own body. And as the forest filled with the sound of his inhuman roar, Ryan realized the truth. This was a fight he might never win. Ryan lunged forward, his body moving faster than he thought possible. His glowing fists slammed into the earth just inches from the nearest creature. The beast shrieked and leapt back, but the shockwave from Ryan's strike ripped through the clearing, scattering the others in terror. Trees shook. Dust and sparks of light swirled around him. He gasped, pulling his hands back, staring at them with wide eyes. His veins blazed blue, his chest burned like fire, and the hunger inside him roared in triumph. The whispers in his mind sang louder, praising him, urging him, yes, more, feed, become one of us. Ryan dropped to his knees, clutching his head. No, I won't do it, I'm still me. But deep inside he knew his voice was weaker than the hunger's. His body trembled not with weakness but with too much strength, overflowing power he could not control. The alien girl stepped forward, slowly, her silver eyes glowing in the night. She looked calm, but there was something new in her gaze now, something almost sad. This is your fate, she whispered. You were never meant to drink so much. Now the milk owns you. Every beat of your heart binds you closer. Ryan glared at her, shaking. You knew this would happen. You wanted this. She paused. For the first time, she looked uncertain. I wanted to see if a human could survive it, if your kind could endure the bond. His jaw tightened. So I was an experiment. Her silence was the answer. The forest quieted, as if the world itself was listening. The glowing creatures had fled into the shadows, leaving only Ryan and the alien girl in the clearing. Ryan stood slowly, his body trembling but alive. His breath came out in sharp bursts. His hands glowed like fire. He stepped closer to her. Then tell me the truth, he growled. What happens to me now? The girl's silver eyes locked on his. She whispered softly, You meet the one who came before. You. Ryan froze. His mind flashed back to her words from earlier. Another human had once drunk the milk long ago. The girl lifted her hand and pointed toward the forest. Beyond the trees, a shape moved. At first, Ryan thought it was another creature. But then, it stepped into the light. His breath caught. It was a man, or at least it had once been. The figure was tall, broad-shouldered, but his skin glowed faintly blue, veins blazing like rivers of fire. His eyes were silver, just like the girl's. His face still carried human features, but twisted, sharpened, more alien than man. He moved with unnatural grace, silent and powerful, as if the earth itself bent under his steps. Ryan's stomach dropped. No, that can't be. The girl's voice was soft, almost tender. He was like you, lost, broken, saved by the milk. Now he is ours. Now he is not human, but something greater. The man stopped a few steps away, staring at Ryan. His expression was unreadable. He opened his mouth, and when he spoke, his voice was layered, half human, half something else. You fight it now, he said. I fought too. But in the end, the bond always wins. Ryan shook his head violently. No, I'll never become like you. The man's glowing eyes softened with something like pity. You already are. Ryan's chest tightened. His heartbeat thundered, matching the glow of his veins. His vision flickered, and for a moment he saw his reflection in the man's silver eyes. He saw himself. Not as a human, but as something alien, something changed. The girl stepped closer, her voice calm and final. This is the truth. You are no longer only human. You belong to us now. The milk does not give. It takes. And what it takes, it never returns. Ryan staggered back, his body shaking. His human mind screamed, but the hunger inside him purred with satisfaction. The voices whispered louder than ever, accept, surrender, become. He dropped to his knees, clutching his chest, torn between two worlds, his human spirit and the alien bond consuming him. The other man stepped closer, placing a glowing hand on Ryan's shoulder. The touch sent a surge of energy through him so strong it nearly stopped his breath. "You can fight," the man said softly, "but it will hurt forever. Or you can let go and be free." Ryan looked up at him, then at the alien girl. Her silver eyes glowed with quiet certainty, and in that moment Ryan realized there was no escape. He could fight until his last breath, but the hunger would never leave him. The bond was forever. He screamed, half in rage, half in despair. His roar echoed through the forest, shaking the glowing trees, scattering the stars above. His veins burned brighter, his body trembling between man and monster. The alien girl whispered the final words, "You are ours now." Ryan's scream turned into silence. His body stilled, his glowing eyes opened, no longer human, no longer free. The bond had won, and humanity had lost.